So without further ado, please give it up for your next comedian. He's extremely funny and extremely short. Mr. Kyle Wang, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Keep going for your host, Alex. And just because he's my teacher doesn't mean I'm as funny as him. So you can relax now. Now, I have something embarrassing to admit. I still live with my parents. I know. But it's cool since I'm actually planning to move out next year once my allowance is enough to pay rent. I mean, like, how much could it possibly cost, right? I mean, you sir, how much do you pay for rent?
He owns. He owns.
Right, moving on, next person. You, how much do you pay for rent?
$1,500 a month.
$1,500.
It's a good deal.
That is great.
Dollars? Wait, dollars? Dollars.
Okay, I paid $3,500 a month.
That sounds right.
Dollars.
Like it.
Wait, you said dollars.
Yeah.
A year. A year. A month? Mom, Dad, please do not kick me out anytime soon. Alright, so anyways, I was watching this really old movie series. And yeah, it's really good, right? And it's really old. It was made before I was even born. It's pretty famous. You've probably heard of it. It's called the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I was just watching the movies and it got me thinking, what would I do as each of the Avengers? So we start with Iron Man, right? Because he's Iron Man and he's really cool, right? So if I were Iron Man, first thing I would do is to immediately stop being Iron Man. Because then I would be a billionaire. And being a billionaire means unlimited Pokemon cards, right? You know, are you paying attention here? Now, as long as you're in the man, going on to Ant-Man. If I were Ant-Man, I would do nothing because I just hit 5 feet and I have no desire to be smaller. Now, if I were Groot, it would go something like this. I am Groot. I am Groot, I am Groot. Groot, I am Groot. I'd be the king of one-liners. If I were the Hulk, well, actually I would never want to be the Hulk, because if I suddenly transformed into a massive green rage monster and ripped all my clothes, my mom would turn into She-Hulk and kill me. Now, speaking of my mom and my dad, recently they took me on a trip to Greece.
Ooh.
Yeah. The first thing we did was to go on a cruise. And on the first night, they played My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic. Again, really old movie. And I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure that's the last song you want to play on a massive boat. Wait a minute. Maybe it was the song they listened to on the submarine. Oh my God. So, anyways, we went to a museum in Greece too. So the only thing my mom wanted to learn about was the jewelry that people wore, and my dad only wanted to learn the history. And I unfortunately learned a lot of human anatomy. You see, I didn't know what a satyr was, spelled S-A-T-Y-R. And so I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it said they were forest spirits with the ears and tail of a donkey, and they enjoy, quote-unquote, rowdy pleasures. Whatever that means. And their, well, you know, thing was like half the size of their body. Like, I know I haven't hit puberty yet, but god damn! So when I got back to the hotel, I read this flyer. It is exactly 3 kilometers from the hotel to the airport. You can walk, which will take you 30 minutes, and if you drive, it'll take 5 minutes. Americans would never suggest for you to walk for 30 minutes. I mean, when I got back to America, there was a moving sidewalk from Taco Bell to the bathroom. Which is good because, well. Point is, Americans do not like to move. So another thing I saw in Greece, the max weight in an elevator, 600 kilograms. And the max capacity was 8 people. Now don't freak out. I'll do the math for you. 600 kilograms times 2.2 pounds, that's 1,320 pounds divided by 8 for each person. That means that each person should weigh 165 pounds. Let's just say Alex shouldn't be getting on group elevators anytime Crap, my parents are here. Oh, please don't kick me out. Now, speaking of my parents, they each have their own special set of skills. Take my mom, for example. She is my ATM, cook, chauffeur, doctor, first responder, and my personal desk organizer. Now, my dad on the other hand, my dad has a very special skill. My dad helps me find mom.
Very true.
Other than that, it's pretty useless. Yeah, so the other day I was watching Star Wars, right? Episodes 1 through 9, and I noticed that R2-D2 is in every single one of them. So that makes him an 85-year-old laptop on wheels. And in episode 9, they're still plugging stuff into him. And it works. Now that makes no sense whatsoever because in my 12 years on this earth, the USB cord alone has changed 3 times. It's like trying to plug a flash drive into a typewriter. Good luck with that. Yeah, just thinking about 85-year-old R2, like 85. It's a lot. Just thinking about death. You guys ever thought about death? Because if you haven't, you probably should. And you guys are way closer than I am. I mean, at this point, it's not even close. Look, if everything goes according to plan, and there is a plan, every single person in this crowd will be dead before me. Now, do you guys want to feel really old? Like, really old? Get this. I am younger than Obamacare. And Obama was president for half my life. And Trump, he was president for a third of my life. And I know it feels like he was president for a third of your life. But for me, it really was. It was reality, baby. And Biden. He's probably going to be president for the rest of his life. He's old. Just saying. So, the other day in school, we watched a movie. But the thing was, we had to watch the movie with 5th graders for a whole year below me. And the entire time they were screaming and yelling and talking. And it completely ruined my experience. You see, I was trying to ascertain the filmmaker's motivations that drove the protagonist to his breaking point. The subtle nuances of the film were being undermined by the cacophonous uproar of the children behind me. Completely ruined Minions for me. Thank you, everybody. I'm Kyle Wang.